Things have gotten really expensive in 2023, but I still was able to have a lot of fun at my local hardware store, Harbor Freight, and I set myself a limit of $10 per item. So this is my first installment of 10 items under $10. Before we get started, let me say that I had an illegal amount of fun at Harbor Freight finding items under $10, and there are some serious gems in here. So let's start with the cheapest one and work our way up to the most expensive at $10. So starting at 69 cents is this. It was actually the last item I found. And what I didn't know when I bought it is it actually has a small pocket clip. So it actually can fit in the pocket, which is pretty cool. And it's just something you can kind of throw around, have in a bag. And surprisingly, these are very, very useful. And it also has, you can see, this is actually a lock to keep it from sliding forward or back. Very simple, 69 cents. Coming in at $1.49 are these sunglasses. Now, funny enough, when I could see without sunglasses, I used these quite a bit. We did a lot of construction in my family, and these were a great just kick around pair of glasses that you could wear for all kinds of things. And surprisingly, because they're so curved, they stay on really, really well. They are also safety glasses. They meet proper standards. So these are great things to have. You can get them in clear or you can get them in smoke like this one. Coming in at $2, we have a magnesium fire starter. Now I found this right on the way out, and I don't have high hopes for the actual ferrocerium rod right off the bat, but I'm curious. I mean, this doesn't even look very sharp, but my experience with this cheap magnesium, that it actually works better than the more premium versions. It's just cheap magnesium just lights better. So you scrape this off, then you strike the ferrocerium rod, creating a spark, and it's very, very hot, and it will actually light a fire. So for $2, you know what? Not bad. I'll throw it in a bag, but we'll test it first just to make sure at a later time. I gotta tell you right now, this is one of my absolute favorite items to recommend to people who are making kits, because it's always forgotten, and it is one of the most useful things that I've ever put in any kit. I have lost screws in the weirdest places, and I didn't know they made one like this one, which has a ball adjustment in 2 different directions, so you could potentially have the magnet go sideways or hang down in a weird spot that you wouldn't normally be able to reach just by going straight through. So this is pretty solid, and at $3.49, it's not a bad pickup. Nice strong magnet. Let's see how strong. Well, pretty darn strong. I mean, yeah, it'll pick up a bolster. That's about 6 ounces. This is actually really cool. Now, I've had these from companies like Night Eyes, but I've never seen this particular version, and I think I might like it even better because of the texturing on it. But what I wanted to point out is how it's useful as a tool day to day. So there's 2 of them in here. I love that it's really bright, but what you can use this for, there's a lot of different things, but one of my favorite ones, see if I can do it from memory. So you can go there, go back, and that's approximately correct. But the general gist here is that it actually can create a phone stand, which let me grab a spare phone here. You can actually get it set up so that it actually will hold a phone, or more importantly, an iPad, because a lot of times you'll have the ability to do it with your phone, or something will be soft enough, but you won't be able to do it with your phone. Now, I didn't do this right. I forgot I have to bend this just a small amount, like a really small amount, to kind of get the lip of the bottom of whatever it is. But these are really good for that. And you can kind of adjust them. You can attach things in weird places. I just feel like these are very much one of the most versatile things you can have in any car kit. They just do a lot of different things. And a pair of them for $3 and what was it, $3.99? Not half bad. This might be my favorite pickup of the bunch. Now, I have a lot of clamps like this that I've had for a very long time. The ones that I have are blue, made by DeWalt, and they're old, okay? But you know, they are basically the same that they always were. But this thing feels more sturdy than those, has a lifetime guarantee from Harbor Freight, and is ridiculously good. Like, I cannot believe this was only $4.99. So these were in like a bin up front, and yeah, I had to stop myself from picking up more than one. But yeah, these are awesome and very, very inexpensive for something that is a full 12-inch clamp. So really like this one. Definitely one of the gems of the day. Now the next item on our list is going to be our first utility knife. And I gotta say, I'm pretty disappointed with this one. I'm not sure I would recommend it. It's heavy, it's not very slick, and it has a thumb stud, but it doesn't need it because you have to use the button to unlock it. Otherwise it doesn't move, right? So you either have to use it two-handed, or you have to, that's interesting. Is there 2 points? There is 2 points. Okay, I like it a little bit better now. So that's actually kind of cool to have it for the maximum pressure you can get draw cutting. Not maximum, but it's higher pressure. That's actually a neat little trick they got up its sleeve. So not too bad. What did I say? $5? $6? Yeah, $6 for this. This is item number 62358. So for the next item on the list, we have this. This is another one of the brands that are only carried by Harbor Freight. It's got that lifetime guarantee. Basically, you walk into Harbor Freight, they'll give you a new one if it breaks. But this is their 5-inch model that actually has wire cutters. Now they make a 4-inch version locking plier, which would be really cool if they came out with one that had cutting jaws like the Irwin 4-inch, but this isn't bad. And the reason I got it is because I will take it and modify it so that it is able to use, you know, the T-shank saw blades like I've shown in past videos. And from what I can tell, the quality is on par with the modern Irwin non-USA made variants. And actually the teeth are quite sharp. So if you're just looking for a couple vice grips to throw around or put into a bag, not a bad call for $8. So for this, we have our second very much Milwaukee look-alike utility knife. So let's take a look and see if this is any better than the first one. So, oh yeah, okay. Quite a bit better, although I don't feel like it's flicking out very well. Interesting. Huh. That's not that easy. Let's see, does it have 2 points? Nope, just the one. Decent comfort, no secondary slot for putting a blade. So even though it is aluminum handle, which some people will like, I still like the Milwaukee a bit better. Now those are a little bit more expensive, but they also have storage for additional blades. And I think that's a really useful feature. So not bad. It does have decent action, although it doesn't open very easily. Hello. So weird. It actually hits so hard on the back when I eventually get it. Let me just take this over here and make sure I can do it. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. It works just fine. I just needed to use a different angle for it. But it's fine. It's a tip down carry, and it's not going to seat very low in the pocket either. It's fine if you want a aluminum handled knife, but now that I'm seeing both of them, I think I prefer the cheaper one, funny enough, because it actually has that second locking point for the different angles that I might want to use it for, and still has the ability to, oh, it's spring-loaded, that's cool, easily take out the blades. So I like this one actually a little bit better. Something of note then. This was also another pleasant surprise, also made by Doyle. This is a very tiny ratcheting stubby bit driver. So let's go ahead and open this thing up. Easy enough. And there we go. Now this is, just so people know, this is item number, where's the item number? There it is, 56673. Doyle is another one of their sub-brands, just like Pittsburgh and Icon and so on. So let's take a look and see how this looks. You know what? Whoa. that's not bad at all, because in the lock position, it actually is very solid. And okay, so how does this work? How do I get access to the other bits is the other question. Because I know, aha, that's why it's so cheap. So it's a ratcheting stubby that has a reversible bit, if I can get it out. There we go. That has a ball detent, Phillips and flathead, and it's a nut driver. That's what they're calling it. Now I think, oh, it's one of those. That's so cool. Okay, actually, that actually makes it way better in my opinion, because you can do, is it the same? Interesting. Custom bit for this particular one. But it gives you multiple nut drivers as well. So what's the combination? So it's Phillips number 1, number 2, slotted 1/4 inch, 3/16, and then a 1/4 and 5/16 nut driver. And I think for some people, that might work out just right. The right combination of bits. I'm curious, let me know down in the comments, is that a good enough combination to justify for $10? Either way, I'm pretty happy so far with the ratchet, but the problem is that this being ball detent means I'm gonna have to source bits from things like the Klein drivers and so on to get replacements. So worth noting, but I like the ratcheting mechanism a lot, actually. That's pretty good. For 10 bucks, I'll take it. Last item was a really big surprise. When I looked at the other knives that were there for around $7.99, about 8 bucks, this was so far above those other ones, it's actually kind of ridiculous. So this is Gordon pocket knife model number 57584. Now it is not a 3.6-inch blade from what it says. That is a wrong statement, and I'm going to show you how wrong that is. I know for a fact that's not 3.5 inches right there. And that's how they measure it. I'm not sure what they're measuring, actually. But this is G10, okay? It is a liner lock, right? It has a 4-way reversible clip, which you can see here. It is 8CR13 MOV. Now, that's a pretty low-end like steel. But for $10, most of the time I'm seeing 3CR, 5CR. 8CR is a pretty big jump up. In fact, there's a bunch of companies like CRKT that charge like $50 for some of their 8CR knives, which is crazy. But anyway, I want to get this out. I mean, I don't have a lot of expectations for it. You know, I don't think it's going to be great, but it's hard to say. You know what I mean? Until you actually play with it. Also, how sharp could it possibly be, right? Let's take a look. This is a $10 knife. Hollow ground, swedge on the back. Not a terrible grind even. Plenty of space for sharpening. Okay, we're already at a good start. Let me take this off. I'm not going to test the pocket clip because I would never carry it in this orientation anyway. How's the grip? Not bad, plenty of space. Now let me show you what I mean. This is not 3.6 inches. Okay? That in fact, it doesn't even reach 3, it's not even 3 inches. So where the heck are they measuring this thing from? It's not, I mean, I have no idea what they're measuring. I literally don't have any idea. Anyway, let's see how, and it's supposed to be on bearings as well. You know what? You know what? You know what? Detent's a little light. Detent's a little light. But it actually flips. I am genuinely shocked. Okay, we need to do a cut test. Let me get some paper. Okay, let's go ahead and try it with this piece of paper. So it's not the sharpest knife out of the box that I've ever tried, but that is more than acceptable. I've had much worse, for sure. Okay, not bad. Not half bad, honestly. In fact, for $10, I would dare to say this is one of the best $10 offerings I've ever seen, ever. That may be the model number, the GK21, the Jerk 21. That's what it feels like. But I like, look, it's stout, but it has a hollow grind, and it's actually not that thick behind the edge, or at least it doesn't feel it. I'm not pretty impressed. I'm very impressed. In fact, after doing the same thing at Walmart, which will be the next video, where I kind of struck out on folding knives entirely, this is a welcome surprise with full steel liners and a reversible clip. Yeah, and it's not perfect, but there's kind of enough space to get up there if I needed to. But realistically, it's just enough for me to put my hands on. It is absolutely not a 3.6-inch blade, not even close to a 3.6-inch blade. It's just under 3. But I'm actually okay with that. I'm actually okay with that. I like that. That's great. For $10? Okay. Not bad. Reverse flick on a $10 knife. Can I do it? Actually, it does that very, very well. It's actually got great access to that thumb stud back here. What about lock bar access? Plenty. That's embarrassing, right? $10? I've had $30, $40 knives that aren't this good. Unreal. So let's put it all together. Man, did I have a lot of fun with this. Okay, I will be doing more for sure. In fact, I already picked up a bunch of items from Walmart. We'll be doing the exact same thing, and there's more than 10 items there as well. So yes, it's not just a 10 for 10. Today we have 12 items to show you, some of which we can eliminate because they wouldn't have been worth your time, like this Doyle. I don't see why I'd pick this one over this one, which has better action and the 2 different stopping points. It's also a little bit smaller. And if they're not going to come with a spare blade saver of some sort, go with the cheaper option, right? And yeah, not much else that I would say that I regret buying here, honestly. And I wanted to point out that the Icon ratchet system, this one here, which is model number RXFT35, you're going to need to ask them if they have it in the back, because what Harbor Freight's doing with items like this that are very high likelihood of walking out the door, you know, they are kind of keeping them on the DL. So you're going to have to ask them for this ratchet set, okay? And they will likely have it in stock. And this is one of the best things that they sell. So a great kit for doing all kinds of mods, adjusting knives, doing tons of different things. I had a whole video on this. I'll put a link down in the description. But if you were looking for it, they do have it. You're going to have to ask for it. I hope you enjoyed this. I had way too much fun. Genuinely way too much fun. And most of the items that you see here are going to either end up in kits or be part of future giveaways as options if they just want to have them thrown in. This was just really cool. I will always keep these. These are always useful. But the real standout for me was this $10 knife. This is a genuinely decent folding knife for $10 with not great action, but I mean, not bad. And you can actually set up the pocket clip any way you want. So I'm very impressed with this for $10. 8CR13, when you're talking about a $10 knife, is probably about as good as you'll ever get. So awesome. This was a win, I think, and we'll be doing more in the future for sure.